Well, hey there, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good on this Friday evening. Now, there was a little story I'd kind of heard a little bit about that. Still, that kind of goes back and is in regards to the situation with the PWHL Minnesota team, who, of course, in typical Minnesota fashion, let's put together a team, win a championship, and then blow it all up within a week. Because that's what Minnesota, it's just what Minnesota's known for, basically, is, in the end, Minnesota's not allowed to have nice things. And, we had heard, that there was a rift between Natalie Darwitz and Ken Klee. Well, some other things have come out on that. Now, we still really don't know exactly why the decision that was made, because normally when you have a rift between a coach and a GM, normally it's the coach that gets fired, not the GM. But the GM was fired, Darwitz, which still ticks a lot of people off, which I can fully understand. It ticks me off because she's the gal who put this team together. But Klee wanted both jobs. He wanted to be the coach and the GM. Now, initially, he didn't get either job. The Minnesota team had hired a guy to be the coach. I think his name was Scott Bugaraff, something like that. I think that was the name I saw in the article. But a week before the season started, he, for personal reasons, said, I can't do it. So that's when they went and they called Klee. And, he had said, when do you want me? Now. So, he was, he jumped all over it, which, I don't blame him. Why wouldn't you? But, and, the end result ended up with the first ever Walter Cup champions being the team from Minnesota. And then, of course, it's after that, it's literally not even a week after they win that championship that it comes out, Natalie Darwitz has been fired. And we're just like, wait, I know, me personally, I was literally like, wait, what? How? Why? We still really don't know why. The why part is still what, nobody really knows. But apparently there was some kind of rift between Darwitz and Klee. Again, normally when you have a rift like that between the coach and the general manager, because the general manager normally is the one, who's in the higher position than the coach, it's the coach that goes when you have a rift like that. At least that's how it normally is in any other sport that I've ever seen, where, the general manager goes and fires the coach and they do the hiring, the firing, all that. But in this case, it's the coach that stays and the general manager that goes, even though it was Darwitz who put this team together. Now, some of the stories that I had seen is it literally was dividing the locker room. Some people were on the side of Ken Klee, and some were on the side of Natalie Darwitz. One of them, who I guess was on Klee's side, was the captain, Kendall Coyne Schofield. And not that she really wanted to be in the middle of this type of rift, but she enjoys playing. She enjoyed playing for Ken Klee. So it's interesting. And I mean, Natalie Darwitz, very well known in the state of Minnesota. When it comes to women's hockey, Natalie Darwitz is like one of the top, top women. I mean, when it comes to women's hockey, Natalie Darwitz is like one of the first people think of. She was a fantastic player. She's a Hall of Famer, well deserved, and it blew my mind to hear that she was the one who got fired. Now, some of the other things that I had heard that are coming out, we still don't know the whole story, and there's still more that might come out. But apparently, Ken Klee had a tendency to be kind of a prick, because there were some ladies on the team, I guess, that he played favorites. Apparently, he did a lot of playing favorites, and I mean, he would look at some girls and be like, what do you know? Like, no, I'm not giving you ice time over this other here's my best players. I'm keeping them on the ice. I'm making sure you don't touch the ice. Now, that's not exactly, how you improve player morale. But I guess, and the reason why I had heard that, he kind of had a little bit of a reputation of being a prick was the fact that apparently there were a couple of players on the team that he wasn't quite fond of, that he gave one girl apparently had the nickname Dumbo. Now, why? Why would you nickname her Dumbo? I mean, are you saying she's got big ears? What are we talking about here? As there's a fly flying around here. There's a freaking fly flying around here. You little. Don't mind if you see something crossing back and forth in the camera. There's a fly in here, and now he's sitting on my light. I'm not exactly gonna whack my light right now, though, as long as he stays there. But I mean, why would you nickname a player Dumbo? I mean, are they? As he just flew in front of the camera. But why would you nickname one of your players Dumbo? I mean, are they a dumb person? Do they have big ears? What? Why? Why would you do that? And a couple of the girls on the team, they didn't want to really come out and say, they didn't want to come out, or come forward saying, something bad, because apparently they're afraid that it might be that other people might consider them trouble, or hard to work with, or something, which could potentially get them either let go from Minnesota and then be hard to get jobs on other teams. It's just this whole thing is just weird. It's just really weird, and we still. I would love to know. I'm one who really wants to know what in the hell happened here. What was the rift? I mean, we still haven't heard anything from Darwitz, and I honestly hope she gets another job in hockey. Obviously, I mean, she was a general manager. She put this team together that ended up winning a championship. I'd love to see her get a shot in the front office somewhere. Me personally, you're telling me there's nowhere in the front office of Bill Guerin for the Minnesota Wild as like an assistant GM or something, or maybe she knows her stuff. John Hines, Minnesota Wild head coach. Can you not come up with a? Can you maybe have a spot for her on the bench? Make her an assistant coach, something. I mean, we have the one gal who just got hired, who came with Dan Bilesma and is becoming the first female assistant coach in NHL history for the Seattle Kraken. Why not here? Why can't we find why couldn't we in Minnesota? Why can't we find a spot for Natalie Darwitz behind the bench of the Minnesota Wild? Or in the front office somewhere. She deserves to be somewhere. In the NHL would be fantastic. I don't know if she will get a crack at any other potential job anywhere else in the PWHL, because it is only 6 teams right now, and it's a new league and all that. But I'd like to know what the hell happened here. It's confusing. It's odd, and just the fact that the players. You got some players on Klee's side, some on Darwitz's side. I don't know. It's just the whole thing is odd. And I really, really want to get to the bottom of this whole thing and figure out what in the hell exactly happened here. Because, like I said, I think Darwitz did a fantastic job as general manager. She built a team that won the league's first championship. First ever PWHL Walter Cup champions is the team from Minnesota. That was her team. She put that together. She drafted them. She did all that. She did all that stuff. I really want to know what's going on. And obviously, Ken Klee's not going anywhere. He's still going to be behind the bench. And, obviously, they're going to try to defend their title next year, which hopefully in the next month or so we might get names. We might actually get names and logos for these teams, which will be fantastic. But I'd like to know what ultimately happened, and I want to see Darwitz somewhere. I would love to see, like I said, I would love to see her not only just stick around in Minnesota, because I think she would be a great asset for the Minnesota Wild, whether it's in the front office, next to Bill Guerin, or somewhere on his staff, or behind the bench. I think she could be. I mean, again, who knows? It's not just women's hockey that she knows. She knows hockey. I think it'd be fantastic to see her behind the bench. I would love to see John Hines give her a shot. I mean, why not? Again, groundbreaking. We get the first female assistant head coach in Seattle, because Dan Bilesma had her on his staff in Coachella Valley, and he brought her with to Seattle. Why can't John Hines do that with Natalie Darwitz and put her behind the bench in Minnesota? I don't know. I want to know what the heck happened here ultimately, but I want to see Darwitz, I want to see her back in hockey in some way. A coach, I think it'd be fun. I think she'd be a fantastic coach. I think she'd be a fun assistant coach. I think it'd be great to see her in the front office. So, Minnesota Wild, come on. You're telling me you can't find a spot for Natalie Darwitz in your organization? I think you can, and I think you should, because I think she deserves it. Whether it's behind the bench as an assistant coach to John Hines, or hell, why not make her an assistant GM to Bill Guerin? Why not? What could it hurt? I would love to see I would love to see that happen. And again, like I said, she deserves it. And I hope I hope that happens for her. I want nothing but good things to happen for her, and let's hope that happens. But first and foremost, let's find out what the hell happened here completely. Let's hear the whole story, everything. That's ultimately what I would like to know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Would you guys want to know exactly what happened between Natalie Darwitz and Ken Klee? I also would like to know, why did Ken Klee have certain nicknames for these players? And why is he keeping some of these girls off the ice? I don't know. That's all stuff I would personally like to know. As a hockey fan of Minnesota, of both the Wild and the women's team, and anything hockey related, men's, women's, here in Minnesota, I love it. It needs to. We need to find out, though. We need to find out what the hell happened. And I really would love to see Natalie Darwitz as a member of the Minnesota Wild organization in some way, shape, or form, whether it's behind the bench or in the front office. I think she would be a phenomenal asset in either spot. But let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Only takes about half a second, to hit that little thumbs up. Also, if you would be so inclined, and it would be greatly appreciated if you would hit that subscribe button, and because then that would tell me that you really enjoy the content. And if you would like to share this video or any other video on the channel with friends, with family, whoever else, go right ahead. That would be fantastic. And yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. And yeah, I'll say it again. Natalie Darwitz, to me, would be a huge asset, whether it's behind the bench or in the front office of the Minnesota Wild. She'd stay here at home. She'd stay in Minnesota, and I think she would make a great asset. But let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you truly feel inclined, and because I would love to see y'all back again. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.